Welcome to another episode of Casual Citizen, an ongoing series about the upcoming first-person MMO Star Citizen by Cloud Imperium Games. I'm your host, Alyciana from the Mystic Worlds Gaming blog. This week's episode takes us back to more fiction from CIG's Discovered series. It's the Vanguard system, the Journal of Christian Meyer. Begin transmission. The year is 2943. October 13th, 02-3600. Location, VS2/Vanguard. First day off, set out through Orion and checked in with Ysel on Armitage for his latest Vanduul movements. He was about to head out on a scrap run himself, so he felt pretty confident. That might have been the booze talking, though. Though I have performed several expeditions into Tiber, Orion, and Virgil, this marked my first venture into Vanguard. With equal parts exhilaration and abject fear, I set towards my first jump into new territory. Upon exiting the jump point, I quickly found a quiet and dark place and sent out a drone for a scouting sweep. It eventually came back with an all clear and some interesting images. One of the planets showed signs of Vanduul harvesting. Even from orbit, you could see the deep scars on the surface. Every time I see a planet being slowly consumed by Vanduul, it gives me pause. What are they using all these resources for? The incredible thing is how indiscriminate it appears their harvesting tech is. From my research, it doesn't appear that they're isolating and extracting specific elements or ore. They simply scrape entire sections of a planet off. If the system stays quiet, I'll try to take a closer look. Found a spot to power down. I've been losing efficiency on one of the cooling systems, so I spent the last few hours digging through the ship's guts. The culprit turned out to be a switcher cable. I thought I'd just replace that. I think I'll be okay until I get back. I'm about to crack open some foodstuffs and put the ship on watch. October 14th, 05-0300. Location, VS2/Vanguard. I've been staring at the screen for about an hour, trying to calm myself down enough to start recording this. I got up after about 6 hours of sleep and did a quick check of the scans. Seems the system was pretty quiet the whole time. I went through my morning regime, food, exercise, pills, before working out a course through the system. I was going to try to land on Vanguard 3 to get some samples of the Vanduul harvesting, so I flashed up the engines and set out. Such a stupid move. I've been spending too much time in Banu and Xi'an space. I've forgotten what life is like out here, and particularly rule number 1, you always sweep before you move. That chilling realization lanced through my spine the second I accelerated. Then almost on cue, I picked up a contact. I cut everything off and went dark. It was a king ship. Whole sections of the massive cap ship's skeletal frame were bare and exposed, indicating, actually, I want to be clear that all of this insight was in retrospect, so you don't think I was being calm. When it was happening, the only thought ricocheting around my head was, please, don't see me. But based on the level of construction to their flagship, I think they must be a relatively new clan. The younger ones, if that's an accurate way to put it, used their initial raids to build onto their kingship, flushing it out, as I once heard a bounty hunter call it. I watched the ship's trajectory, ready to take off if they shifted a degree toward me. I was so focused on their path that I wasn't paying attention to my own. I had cut the engines off so quick that I was still moving forward, right towards an asteroid about the size of a small space dock. With my systems down, there was no proximity alarm to warn me. The impact nearly cracked the hull. Then the Vanduul clan stopped. They set themselves in orbit of the harvested planet, sending down their own machinery to start processing. 8 hours later, They finally pulled their harvesters and scythes back to move on. Finally, the clan disappeared into the jump point back to Orion. I hope Giselle is already back and under cover. I spent the rest of the day patching up the ship and cursing my own stupidity. October 14th, 12:4100. Location, VS2/Vanguard. I sent out a few probes to make sure I was alone and slowly approached Vanguard 3. I wasn't going to risk getting too close to the planet, but I managed to position my ship for a good look down on the surface. Made me so glad I'd sold off my house for that new scan array. Not all the Vanduul had gone. It was an encampment. I had no idea that the Vanduul ever stayed in one place long enough to have an encampment. I think if I post up on the opposite side of the planet, after yesterday, I'm not taking any chances, I could sneak a short range down for a closer look, because this is unbelievable. Communication stream ends here. I hope you've enjoyed this episode and another look at fiction from the world of Star Citizen. I am so excited to inhabit this universe. The show notes will include a link to the story directly on robertspaceindustries.com in case you'd like to take a closer look at it. As always, this is Alyciana signing off until next time. Be kind and fly safe. End transmission.